When I was looking for something else for one of my last videos, I stumbled across this. I'd not seen it before. High Performance. So they're also on YouTube. It's Jake Humphrey and whoever he's linked with that is behind this channel. And they've done this video, F1 stars on Abu Dhabi 2021 controversy. So I'm going to take you through it. It's 8 minutes long from them. So obviously for me, it'll be longer. You'll find out, you'll realise that it doesn't tell us anything, all right? And you need to understand the actual nature of this. In light of what is being revealed in the world at the moment, hopefully everybody is waking up to the fact that the billionaire class is essentially, they behave in a manner which is, it's with impunity. Okay, they are above the law, above consequence, and essentially they lie, and they're in control of the media, and so therefore the media will present a certain version of things which then conceal their lies. And that's exactly what this is. It's just yet further propaganda where the truth is not going to be exposed, and the way everything is framed, the questions being asked, and the diversion of the answers is entirely just for the control of your mind by the billionaire. So let me get into this.
What happened is,
and we'll I'll stop it and obviously talk through it the way I normally do. So just rewind that to the start, because there's this is a few little highlights I think before we get going. Here we go.
inexcusable.
I think it got to Mercedes.
Max lost some points that he shouldn't have lost.
It started to affect their psyche.
How often do you think about it?
So again, remember the title clickbait is F1 stars on Abu Dhabi 2021 controversy. So all it's going to include is Wolff and Newey. So this is what we're going to get.
Obviously, we've just spoken about the fact that your own experiences give you an emotional intelligence and empathy and understanding.
The billionaire's got emotional intelligence and understanding. Really, they're not psychopathic narcissists that actually don't care about what they do to people as long as they make billions. That's what billionaires really are.
For others. Did you not have that for Michael Massey? Did you not?
How did you feel about Michael Massey? Oh, did you not feel sorry for Michael Massey? Jake, you've introduced your podcast by suggesting, oh, we should all feel sorry for Michael Massey. Was Michael Massey the victim? Well, what was Michael Massey? Michael Massey was the patsy, the fall guy. Okay, Michael Massey was who the blame got pinned on. This was a systematic fix. How could it be that all of the world's commentators were suggesting, well, they let the lapped runners through. I'm not sure it's mandatory, but that's normally on a wet day. Will we go racing with these 5 cars in between Lewis or Max or not, when that's not allowed to happen? How is it that all of the experts of the sport presented that lie? How's that, Jake? You might have presented that lie. Were you commentating for the BBC at the time? Were you in on the script as well? Oh no, there's going to be a car crash with 5 laps to go, and that is going to set us up a last lap shootout. That will excite the kiddies, won't it? Ooh, yes. Oh no, the car is caught fire. That's prolonging the cleanup operation. What do we do now? Right, mind conditioners. Let's kick in and let's present the option while we work out what we're going to do of maybe getting the race started with the lap cars in situ. Oh, we'll get them out of the way and we'll still set up the last lap shootout between Lewis and Max. Leave it to us. You just keep filling in the gaps. But it's Michael Massey's fault, isn't it? It's Michael Massey's. How does it make you feel? What about the stewards, Jake? What about the 4 stewards? Warwick, Holter, Connolly, Al Hashmi, but he's just the local steward. Don't know how much he had to do with it, really. Complicit, but again, he's probably powerless. Don't know the extent of that. Now, how do you operate a steward's appeal when a team makes a appeal to the stewards? What the team is doing, they say, our appeal, these are the grounds for our appeal. The grounds for the appeal are the FIA race control has breached to the regulations of the sport. They've not carried out the regulation in the required manner, and therefore, from that moment in time, any of the laps completed is invalid, so the result needs to be declared at the end of the last valid lap, which is the end of lap 56. Lewis Hamilton is the winner. So how does a steward respond to that? How do the stewards respond to that? Well, what they do, they take a look at the regulation, they take a look at what did take place, they compare the two, they accept that yes, indeed, the regulation was not carried out, and that yes, indeed, by not carrying it out, that meant that everything was then invalid beyond that. And they do what is required, which is amend the result. They didn't do that. What did they do? They asked Red Bull what Red Bull thought. Newey was one of those that then went along and played this game of back and forth. Go away, Red Bull, and create us your argument. Toto wasn't involved. He sent in the facade of a barrister. Oh, if a legal expert can't work it out, then who can? Oh, but it's Michael Massey's fault, isn't it? And all the journalists, all the former world champions, all the Sky Sports experts, after the race, they couldn't work it out. They couldn't work it out. The next day, they had to put Brundle out there because of all the outrage. We now know that the regulations do allow for a safety car finish, and we now know that the safety car should have come in at the end of the following lap. But then teams agreed to a racing finish. Look at the. Did you not know that the safety car had to come in at the end of the following lap? You all did. We all did. But you were just hyping the excitement, weren't you? Somebody was a victim of that. But you're presenting Michael Massey as the victim, aren't you, Jake? So what you're a mind conditioner. That's an abuse, okay? Because what you're doing, you are serving a fraud. You are serving a criminal act by what it is you are doing. You're profiting from it from this podcast, but you were you not employed by the BBC at the time, Jake? Part of the mind conditioning machine. You are scum. Anyway, we'll carry on.
Put yourself in his position and think, okay, that's a hard place to be.
Poor Michael Massey.
I might have done the same. Or
Would you have done the same if you were Michael Massey, everybody? And let's be clear, Michael Massey wasn't alone. There's at least 10 members of FIA staff in race control. There's various banks of screens, at least 2 rows of screens, and at least 5 people in each row. Oh, but it's just this one guy that got it all wrong. Really? Really? None of the other 9 went, whoa, you can't do this. We all know the rules, we all know the regulations. Have we got the camera footage from race control? Can we show us who was actually putting Michael Massey under duress? Oh, was it the team bosses on the radio, was it? No, because it's easy to turn the radio off and say, I'm not listening to you, I'm doing my job. So that bit's easy. So who was holding the gun to Massey's head? Show us the cameras from race control. Oh, nobody ever has. Strange that, isn't it? Rather strange that. Jake, are you not thinking to ask those questions? The radio message that F1 TV selected was the one that they had to manufacture when the fire happened. A Christian to Michael. Why aren't we getting these lapped cars out of the way? Because Christian, my main big one is to make sure this incident is cleared up. We only need 1 racing lap. Yeah, that one that you had to rush out because Christian got it wrong. He fumbled his lines. Yeah, that one. And you had to do that because we're now on lap 57 when F1 TV are playing the world that message. And on lap 57, if the unlapping procedure hasn't been completed, if they've not all been released on lap 56, making lap 57 the lap that they're afforded to make it around the track and rejoin the back of the safety car snake, which is the intention of that regulation, to wipe out basically reset sporting fairness to all competitors prior to the resumption of racing. Because you've never told us the purpose of the safety car regulation. You've always lied about that, saying, oh, it's to get them out of the way of the race between the leaders. Oh, but we didn't get them out of the way of the race between second and third. No, we left them in to protect Max from challenge, just so that Max got a free hit on the fresh soft tyres without having to defend, without having to worry about being challenged. So he could chuck it up the inside of a corner, right, and force the other car wide in the way that Max does, and nobody would be able to nip up the inside of him and beat him for the race win. No, we don't want that. We want only Max to win. We Max finishing second is not so much the glory moment, is it? We need the glory shot, don't we, Jake? You're part of that, aren't you? Yeah, there's some pictures of Epstein was capturing pictures of glory shots of billionaires. Jake, what do you know, Jake? You move in those circles, do you, lad? Do you move in those circles? So what it all is, they've got leverage over you. It's like, well, you comply with narrative to get a job in the industry. Is that what it is? Let me know what you think in the comments section, Jake. So, yeah, that's the radio messages, Jake. Why would it be that F1 TV selected that message to play to the world when the regulations state that essentially, well, they don't state this, they state what they state in terms of once the clerk of the course declares everything safe and the message is given to all of the cars. Once the last lap car has passed the safety car and leader, the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap. So that means that those lapped cars have to be released on lap 56. The last of them will have had to make it past that safety car prior to the commencement of lap 57. Lap 57 is that mandatory lap, and that's the only way we go racing on lap 58. Yet on lap 57, with that not completed, with those cars not released, the sport plays the world that message. What's going on there, Jake? What's going on there, Jake?
I really tried to.
Sorry, Toto here is expressing his billionaire's empathy for Michael Massey, the real victim here.
Speak to Michael and guide him all along the year and speak to him and say, listen, I've been in the sport for a long time.
Yes, I've tried to guide him all along. So we manipulated it all year. I've been in the sport a long time. I know how to manipulate the sport. Did it with Nico Rosberg for, was it 2016? Yeah, I know what the crack is.
Listen to the drivers. Don't always be stubborn in your decision making. Don't be arrogant.
Toto, advising somebody else to not be arrogant. Thanks, Toto.
And I tried that for the good of the sport and obviously also for us as a team.
For the good of the sport. Do you understand what sport is, Toto? A competitive environment played out in accordance with rules that everybody signs up to and adheres to. The moment you breach them, you've breached the sport.
Be vulnerable to situations that could be totally detrimental. So in that...
The billionaires, they don't like rules, do they? They don't like rules. They break all rules. They break all regulation because that enables them to make billions. Yeah, that's how it works, isn't it, Toto? But you fucking snake that you are, you'll present yourself as being a great guy, won't you, Toto? A great guy. Billionaire Toto. We know what billionaires are like from Epstein's files, don't we, Toto? You're just the type, Toto. You move in those circles, Toto. You move in those circles.
Sense, this is just, what happened is inexcusable.
Yes, it is.
Now you could say, yeah, the empathy should make me realize how he feels. I realize how he feels. Mm-hmm. And I know that's not good and bad. But he could have thought about it all year long when people, not only me, tried to support in the right way. So sometimes you have to just realize that someone is just doing his own thing or taking his own decisions. So for me, I don't care about it anymore. Now you and I speak about it. We waste 3 minutes of our time, but he has no relevance.
Well, so you've wasted 3 minutes of our time, 1 minute 50, right? But you're saying that it's no relevance. Of course it's relevant. The entire thing was manipulated. The entire show was manipulated. And it became in that year as well that increasingly, it might have been slightly before this, but increasingly the race director became a factor in Formula One races and Formula One weekends. Oh, what's the race director doing here? That's all part of narrative. That's all part of a plan. How can we manipulate it? Oh, make out that these are refereeing decisions which are very erratic, and that's not his role. So who created that? Oh, this was all part of the creation of narratives. How to better manipulate outcomes in Formula One. It's all part of the plan. Who are the race directors now? Are they made a celebrity in the same way that Michael Massey was? Funny that, isn't it?
So we're nearly 3 years on from that day. How often do you think about it?
For sure, every week.
Yeah.
There's a moment every week where I think about it. But I mainly think about it because I think Lewis should have deserved.
You mainly think about it because you're just hoping it's never going to catch up with you, don't you, Toto? But you know what, Toto? It is. It is. You think you're going to get away with this. You think that you can gaslight the population and it won't come out. Yeah? You're doing well so far that it's taken this long. And it will take a bit longer. But we're not going to give up on this, Toto. Everybody that is watching this now, we're going to share it. We're going to share it with everybody else. We're going to flood the internet with each and every one of these videos so that there is going to be no hiding place. Just like these Epstein files, right, which are coming out now and exposing people. People aren't going to let this go. We're not going to move on already. People have had enough. People are waking up to the fact that corruption is ruling our lives. That corruption took place in Formula One in a sport that you benefit from. You sold to us. You are part of that machine that defrauded us. You're a key player in that. You're going to get your consequence, Toto. So yes, of course you are concerned, aren't you, Toto? You're going to be thinking about it. You're going to be thinking about it. You're going to hope you can get away with it. You're going to come out with your cover story.
To be the greatest of all times with 8 world championship titles. And you can argue all along about that year. I think Max and Lewis were deserving champions. There were instances during...
Oh, they both deserved it, did they? That narrative. No, it's all about who accomplishes it by achieving the most points. Now, people suffer misfortune. We've seen drivers lose out on championships due to, for example, look at what happened with Lewis Hamilton in his first ever Formula One season. You could say it was mechanical failure that cost him. You could say that it was poor strategy from his pit crew, allowing him to remain out on track on tyres that weren't fit for purpose. And it was too late by the time that he did pit. There was various things that went wrong there. Did he deserve it? The fact is, he didn't get it, did he? So it's not about deserved. We've seen other drivers where Nigel Mansell, being a prime example, was on course to become a world champion and suffered a puncture, a tyre blowout, ruined his chances. It happens. Did he deserve it? Well, unfortunately, he didn't achieve it, and that's all that matters.
The year where Max lost some points that he shouldn't have lost. You look at Silverstone today.
Silverstone, Max lost some points that he shouldn't have lost. We look at Silverstone today. Well, Max took that into his own hands. He had the responsibility for his own safety in that race. He had the responsibility to, when he's being challenged for position, take the appropriate action. And the appropriate action is to not try and chop across the nose of a car that has earned the entitlement to be there. That's going to cause a collision, which is what he did. And he ended up on the wrong side of that. So that was Max's fault. Lewis got the penalty though. But the facts are, at the braking zone to that corner, that bend, Lewis had got his car more than halfway alongside Max's on the inside line, and therefore was entitled to be left track room on the inside. But Max didn't want to do that. Max wouldn't yield, as Max doesn't. Max tried to force the issue. Max tried to make Lewis have to back out of that when Lewis was entitled to be there, and Max cut across his line. That caused a collision. Had Max have taken responsibility and stayed wider, or for once yielded, he wouldn't have ended up in the tyres. So that was Max's fault. How many times did Max force Lewis Hamilton off the track that season? Max did suffer misfortune at Baku. That was unfortunate. That tyre blowout was unfortunate. Race control did come to his assistance by red flagging the event at Red Bull's request, and then Lewis, for some inexplicable reason, messed up big style and then lost all the points that he would have got. So the 18 points that Lewis could have gained on Max became nothing. So whilst Max did lose out in Baku, and let's be clear, he probably lost out on a 10-point difference there, because had he not have had a tyre blowout, he would have probably won the race, and Lewis would have probably finished third behind Perez. You never know. We don't know these things. So therefore, the points difference would have been 25 extra points to Max, 10 points extra to Lewis. A difference of 15 points for Lewis for third. So there's a difference of 10. So there's 10 points that are accountable there. But then what you've got to be concerned about as well is Belgium. Max got handed a victory of a parade that was never a Grand Prix. He was handed 5 more points than Lewis was handed there. Neither should have got anything. So that reduces it. Well, again, this is all hypothetical. He didn't make it to the end of the race. Misfortune of a tyre blowout. Italy, Max's reckless driving, Max's refusal to yield, Max forcing the issue, as he always did, resulted in taking Lewis Hamilton out of that race. Lewis Hamilton was the lead car then. Lewis Hamilton was, at that stage, on course for 25 points, with Max Verstappen only on course for 18. That's a difference of 7. So what have we got there? If you just look at those 3 events there, those 3 examples. Baku, where Max was unfortunate. Max lost out on gaining 10 points over Lewis. However, he got 5 points gifted to him by being gifted the Belgian parade, which was never a race. He then, essentially, the 7-point advantage of Hamilton that he was holding over Verstappen was wiped out due to Verstappen. Due to that illegal move by Verstappen. So that's a net 2-point disadvantage to Lewis. Hungary, yes, that was, again, he sustained damage, as wasn't his own fault. But these are racing incidents. These things happen. Sometimes you are caught up in a bit of a situation like that. That's just the way it works. Lewis Hamilton was damaged by Max's actions at Imola that year. How many other Grand Prix did Lewis sustain damage? How many other Grand Prix was Lewis's race impacted by the conduct of Max Verstappen? How many other races was Max not awarded the appropriate penalty for his actions, which resulted in him not getting the penalties in the race, which may have altered his finishing position, may have altered the points he actually achieved at those races, impacting the championship standings? How many times did Max avoid getting penalty points on his licence for the infringements that he made, which then should have totaled up to him receiving a race ban that season? How many points did he get in the race that he should have been banned from? What about the black flag that he should have got and didn't get at Saudi, but still was able to collect 18 points? Let's talk about all them, Toto. You see, we got to Abu Dhabi and we'd accepted all of that shit. So you can go over the course of the season and we can break all that down and still find that it's all bullshit. And so therefore this notion of, oh, both deserved it. They absolutely both didn't deserve it, because you can only put an argument forward for that by ignoring all of the bullshit that I've just talked about, that Max Verstappen was allowed and able to get away with. But it's not about deserving, it's about who achieved it validly. Max didn't achieve it validly, did he?
You look at the crash in Monza, both of them had. So both deserving champions. But on that particular afternoon in Abu Dhabi, it was unfair.
Yeah. You obviously have the car in your reception.
Yeah. Thanks for your valuable insight, Jake. Yeah. Let's talk about the car in reception now. What was the title of this again? F1 stars on Abu Dhabi 2021 controversy. Yeah. 2.9 thousand people. So almost 3,000 people like this. 281,000 views from the happy clappers. This is what we're up against, ladies and gentlemen. Retards, right? Retards that haven't got a clue. But yay! Yay! Formula One, my favourite. Oh, it's Jake. He's asking Toto some questions. Oh, that's really good. I like that. None of them have got a clue, have they?
Now, I wondered when I came in, I saw that and immediately knew this is the car that raced. It's the very car, isn't it, from the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? You don't feel tempted to get that car out of reception and put something else in there?
It's a special car.
Do you know what I said about framing questions? So this is Jake Humphreys, the interviewer, asking the questions. We're talking about the controversy of Abu Dhabi 2021, are we? Really? Yeah, are we hitting the key points here? Are we, Jake?
Because it's also a car that turned the situation around after Brazil, where we thought the championship is gone. It was a very good car after the summer.
Did you repair the DRS flap that Max had been hanging off in Brazil, causing the penalty? Yeah? Is the damage still on there? And Max's fingerprint's still on there, Toto.
And it's a car that reminds all of us that things could go wrong very quickly, but things could be right also very quickly. It's basically how life goes. And that car is a stark reminder of...
That's a lesson for life, isn't it, Toto? Oh, it's just one of them things. It's just life. That's how billionaires manipulate our lives. Oh, yeah, you get your ups and your downs depending on how much stress we want to put you under. How much we set the price of your life, because we're just toying with civilization to exploit it at our wish. Because that's how you narcissistic cunts get off.
All the joy and all the pain a situation can bring with it.
I'd like to talk about the impact on Lewis, because in the book, Bono, his race engineer, says after the British Grand Prix, which Lewis won this season, he said it was 945 days since Lewis's last win. As time passed, the doubt crept in for Lewis as much as me. In our minds, we started to ask if we were still capable.
That's a great question. Good. Epstein likes it. Good question. They all pose these good questions, and the person being interviewed always acknowledges it as being a good question. The better question, though, Jake, right, would have been Bono made some strange decisions at Abu Dhabi 2021, Toto. I mean, you started the race on the medium compound of tyre, and Red Bull started on the soft compound of tyre, and that would suggest that the medium compound tyre runners could extend till lap 25 approximately of that race. Lewis, his pace wasn't dropping off, and yet you pitted him immediately the lap after Verstappen had pitted, throwing away the chance of going longer, throwing away the chance of maybe getting a cheaper pit stop if there was something like a safety car where Max would bunch up anyway, but you could obviously have less pressure on the pit stop. Or there could be a virtual safety car where you could actually make time through pitting there, because Max had already pitted, losing approximately 22, 23 seconds. If you only lost 16 seconds, well, you've made a net gain of about 6 or 7 seconds. He was already 6 seconds in the lead, so that would have even been better for you, wouldn't it? So you threw that chance away. And what you then did, you brought him out onto track behind Sergio Perez, exposing him to the Mexican Minister of Defense that would then cause Hamilton's lead to then be wiped out by about 7 or 8 seconds. Now, you'd think that was a strange call from his strategist. That would be a better question, Jake. Talk us through that. But no, you didn't do that, did you? You talk about the book and them thinking they'll never win again. Now, again, do we believe in the authenticity of that Grand Prix victory at Silverstone? Well, they manufacture a lot of things. And we've seen various drivers win their home event. You couldn't make it up, could you, Jake?
How aware were you that Lewis was struggling after that race in 2021?
These little hand movements that you do. I mean, some people are into symbolism. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've not studied it, but certain people do these little symbols. Just have a look at his hands. Maybe those of you that know things, maybe he's, presenting that he is a servant to the establishment. Who knows? Let me know.
On this season, he said it was 945 days since Lewis's last win. As time passed, the doubt crept in for Lewis as much as me. In our minds, we started to ask if we were still capable. How aware were you that Lewis was struggling after that race in 2021?
Lewis and I speak a lot, we text a lot.
How aware were you that Lewis was struggling after that race? What do you think, Jake? What do you think? You've just had this entire event manipulated. How much did Lewis know about it? The entire sport was in on it. It was clearly a breach of the rules. Nobody complained. None of the other teams protested. They're all worth billions more now. Yeah. None of them identified. Ferrari didn't complain that third place Carlos Sainz was blocked off from challenging the top two because they got 2 lapped cars left in between him and the front two. McLaren, they didn't lodge a steward's appeal either. I mean, Lando Norris was now left 2/3 of a lap behind Gasly, when previously, prior to Latifi crashing, he was 11.2 seconds behind. So that meant that when the race resumed, Lando, in 7th, had no chance whatsoever of challenging for 6th. There were numerous teams that were affected in exactly the same way as that. How did it make them feel, Jake? Oh, it was all a construct. It was all a cheat. Talk us through those 5 cars that were released and then were racing the moment they crossed the start-finish line when the track was still yellow, Jake. Oh, that's illegal, Jake. Did the stewards apply a penalty to those 5 competitors that were racing under yellow conditions, Jake? Talk us through that, Jake.
All along. And I knew that he was in an okay place because he immediately left, spent some time in the Caribbean after that race. And
I knew he was okay because he went to the Caribbean, so that meant he was okay. Really? Yeah. Somebody has just taken themselves away, right? Oh, he's okay because he's taken himself away somewhere. Thanks for that, Toto. Very empathetic of you. Oh, this is their advert. Hopefully, one of 2. I'm going to pause this and then fast forward these ads.
was doing his sports and kite surfing.
So you said you knew a few days later he was okay. What happened a few days after that when you thought, actually, Lewis is okay here?
He went to some friends' place in the Caribbean and they told me he's okay. And he took his distance. So I was also proud because he's come a long way to cope with difficult moments that he had. And
the billionaire was proud. of the man that he was party to fucking, just took it like that. Yeah, that was that. You've got a right. You've got to. You're right to feel proud about that, Toto. You're right to feel proud that the man that you were party to fucking responded in that manner.
The past, and we had, there were times where he, I was helping him.
I had to let him go. Watch the full conversation. That'd be more of the bullshit. Okay, you're that proud. You had to let him go. That proud. Is that because you were just fixing it, and he realised that you were fixing it, and you were never going to let him win? Yep.
To overcome such situations in the same way, the other way around. It's also what made our relationship so strong, that we've seen each other on the worst moments. So I knew he was better.
Look, we all know the.
This is they're sponsored. So sorry, I can't really do much about this bit.
Struggle of deciding what to eat, but ready to vitamins t-shirt internally. Can I ask how you feel Max internally dealt with what happened at the end of the 2020?
How does it make you feel? It's all about feelings. No, it's not. No, it's about facts. Okay? Because when you understand the facts, then you can ground what you feel about that. But when you don't know the facts, okay, and are just telling us your feelings, then that's different, isn't it? Because you don't know what you're feeling, because you've got nothing substantial, that you've got no truth to ground them in. You're basing your feelings on what you've been duped by.
How you feel Max internally dealt with what happened at the end of the 2021 season? Because it still feels to me like Red Bull are blamed for something that was totally not in your control.
Red Bull are the victims here. Red Bull have been blamed for something that wasn't in their control. How does it make you feel about being the victims of such dynamics, Red Bull? Is how Jake here wants to frame the situation. Poor Red Bull. I don't know who this gimp is. Poor Red Bull.
This was an FIA race director decision that I kind of reflects.
This was an FIA race director decision, right? Yeah. Oh no, Nicholas Latifi has crashed. Rewind a lap. Must be this lap, Nicholas. A bit further around the lap. Fake dance off with Mick Schumacher. Turn 14, we'll select a lower gear and dump the throttle as we've got a bit of a steering angle on. Oh, what's going to happen there, everybody? Lads, those of you that play computer racing car games, right? And you've got your expert Formula One drivers because you've got your real motor racing chair at home. Maybe you've got a rig. Okay, get yourself, load up Abu Dhabi, so, you yourself are also as good as a world champion Formula One racer. Load up Abu Dhabi. And what I want you to do is going into turn 14, drop it to third, right? And then just literally just floor the accelerator, right? As you've got the steering wheel turned to go round turn 14. See what happens. And don't have it on the settings where you've got like traction control or anything like asymmetric braking devices on your car or anything like that. Like have it like on no driver aid settings and see what happens with your car. All right. Let me know what happens with your car when you do that in the comment section. See if the simulator will give an accurate reflection of what the car will actually do. Anyway, we'll carry on.
Badly on Red Bull in an unfair way, Yeah,
it's unfair on Red Bull, isn't it? It's unfair on Red Bull, isn't it, Jake? And Adrian here. Adrian attended the Steward's Appeal, was one of the three. Jonathan Wheatley, Christian Horner, and this cheat. But he's a genius, is Adrian.
And I think, honestly, Max is so... He has such a self-assured... So self-assured, and this is in a positive way. It's not in a negative way. There's arrogance and there's self-assured. And Max is he's not arrogant, but he is very self-assured and self-confident. And he's a deep thinker.
He's a deep thinker, is he? That Max is a deep thinker. So he thinks deeply about running other cars off the road. Yeah, driving into other cars if he gets a bit of annoyed. Yeah, so he reacts like that because he's a deep thinker, and he's that much of a deep thinker. He just like does online gaming all the time rather than be a father to his child. He's a deep thinker, is Max. Yeah, he looks like he's a deep thinker, doesn't he? From all the conduct that we can see, but he's a deep thinker. He's confident. He's assured, but not arrogant. That's again not what we see.
But he doesn't let things like that. I don't think they don't really get to him. He's able to.
No, generally, narcissists and psychopaths they feel no empathy, and they really do not care. Yeah, that's not part of their psyche at all. Cold-blooded. That's what they are, Adrian.
Shut that off and just get on with his job and get on with his task and do what he loves doing, which is driving racing cars.
Did it get to you?
No, it didn't. I mean,
did it get to you that Red Bull are the victims here of people thinking that they benefited from just a mistake? Did that get to you, Adrian? What a good question. Good question, Jake. Good question. Could there be a better question? Why did you retire Sergio Perez's car? What was the deal there? That threw away your chance of winning the $177 million that Mercedes won for winning the Constructors' Championship. Also, gave Ferrari a bit of a sweetener. That would have been maybe a better question. What are the regulations, Adrian? Because you went into the Stewards' Appeal along with Christian and Jonathan, and you proposed the notion of any not meaning all, and it's now been established that that's not the regulation, because like for all of the 199 Grand Prix that have been contested before Abu Dhabi 2021 under these regulations, they did do the unlapping procedure, and for everyone since where it's required this situation, they've done the unlapping procedure, and they've unlapped all of the cars that qualified to unlap. But that one you proposed, that it didn't mean that. That wasn't what it meant, and that's not the purpose. Why did you propose that then? Why did you propose that, Adrian? And even if they had carried out the regulation properly, it wouldn't have changed the result of the race. And I thought you were a genius, Adrian. Thought you were a genius. If the safety car would have returned to the pits at the end of the following lap, the following lap was lap 58, and the end of that lap is the end of the race, and that equals a safety car finish, which means Lewis Hamilton wins the race. And yet what you proposed in the Stewards' Appeal, Adrian, was that, even if they'd have applied the regulations, then it wouldn't have changed the result. So that's all false, isn't it? So why that would have been the better question to ask, Jake. But we didn't ask that question, did we, Jake?
I find
because he wouldn't be able to answer it. That's why. But this is why we frame the questions, and we don't ask the questions which are going to reveal the truth, do we, Jake? Do we, Jake? Just serve. You've served. You'll be off service. Down on your knees, kiss the ring, Jake. This is the rituals, is it? It's just the rituals. Have they got photographic evidence incriminating something as leverage, Jake, when you're in those circles to make you serve the narrative? Is that how it works in media? To be part of media class, okay, this mind manipulator, the abuser class, yeah? Is that what you do? Have they got leverage over you all? Have they, have they appealed to your dark desires, offered you something? Come and do this with us, Jake. Yeah, you're like that. We've now got photographs of you doing that, Jake, so you're going to say what we make you say. Is that how it works for people in the media? Let me know what you think in the comments section, Jake. I mean, it's just a question. It's not an allegation, just a question. I'm just intrigued to know why all of you in the media are lying, corrupt fucks who have distorted... Well, you've completely subverted reality in service to a narrative, in service to a fraud. Why is that? Now, considering your Formula One presenters, none of you seem to know about Formula One. What's going on? What's that all about?
And it actually, I think it got to Mercedes, and
it didn't get to me, but I think it got to Mercedes. Let's project, shall we? Let's project that they seem to not be able to handle it. Yeah. It wasn't the fact that people were saying that we benefited. It didn't affect us, but I think it affected them. They couldn't handle it. Thanks for that, Newey. This is the kind of scene that he is.
instead of saying, okay, well, accepting it and moving on.
Move on already. This guy's fucking evil as well. Fucking evil. Every single one of these motherfuckers. I'll just pause this again.
Started to affect their psyche, which is an interesting one. That's from the outside, and I might be completely wrong.
Yeah, it started to affect Mercedes' psyche from the outside. Yeah, we know what your psyche is. We know what the psyche is of all of you in this category of manipulators, of exploiters. The exploiters versus the exploited. That's what the revolution's going to be about. You, Newey, are part of the exploiters. You, Humphrey, are part of the exploiters. Mind conditioning the masses. Those who you exploit.
In what way?
Oh, this lad. Oh, good lad. Oh, he's got his book. He's got his book.
It just they couldn't let it go. Psychologically, they couldn't let it go. And you have to...
Yeah, Mercedes psychologically couldn't let it go, and you have to. Let's talk about them and how it impacted their mentality and how poor they responded to that. Shall we, Newey? Not what Red Bull did. We deflect. Evil.
Have to be... we all have it. You have a bad race. Perhaps should have won and the bloody thing broke down on the last lap or whatever.
We have a bad race. Should have won, but it broke down on the last lap. Is this the example you're going to use for Abu Dhabi? So again, what we're talking about on Abu Dhabi controversy, what have we touched on the controversy? Nothing about the rules and regulations. Nothing about what was done, why it shouldn't have been done, what impact it had, what other things were wrong, what was so wrong with the steward's appeal, why Mercedes didn't then appeal that appeal, why none of the media could reveal what the real purpose of the regulation was, why it was that the media was even proposing the notion of resuming the race with lapped cars in situ before Michael Massey goes, lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake, which is not allowed. Okay, because you don't. Well, they say that's not allowed. You don't give that notification out. Okay, because all you do is once you've deployed the safety car, you just keep going behind the safety car until the moment in time the track is cleared and safe, and then you carry out the mandatory procedure. If the track is not cleared and not safe, you don't do anything. You just carry on lapping beyond the safety car because the track is not clear, and so it's still a safety car situation. It's still not safe. You don't announce lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake because you can't go racing like that. So you just go, there's nothing to see here. We've deployed the safety car to deal with a safety incident and it's being dealt with. That's it. That's all you need to know. It's being dealt with. It's still being dealt with. Right. Now it's dealt with. Right, lapped cars, you may now overtake. That's all you do. There's never a point in time where you go, lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake, which means they'll all get blue flags. It doesn't mean that at all. It's all a fraud, isn't it? It's all a fraud. Did you ask that question, Jake? Well, Adrian, can you answer that question? No, you can't, can you, Adrian? But you try and pretend. We all have a bad race, and it's how you respond to having a bad race. A bad race where Lewis Hamilton started second, got the jump on Max, got the much better start, got the jump off him, had to then avoid Max trying to crash him out the race again, which he did. Oh, he's got to give that place back. He's got to give that place back. Right? Had to deal with his own team, ruining the tyre advantage that he had and throwing that away, putting him out behind Perez. Had to deal with the dangerous driving of Perez. Yeah, had to deal with the scripted virtual safety car where Max gets the fresh tyres to then try and track him down on them, and he still couldn't do it properly. Had to deal with the Nicholas Latifi has crashed, and then had to deal with them breaking the rules to set that up. Oh, it's just a bad race. Just a bad race, isn't it, Adrian?
And I always have a personal rule, if you like, that I will be horrible to be around in the airport in that Sunday evening. But come Monday morning, I got to wake up and be back on it. I can't go back into the factory all miserable and downbeat. Part of my position, I suppose, is to try to hopefully motivate everybody, not so.
I don't know how you could be such an evil liar in this world. They know what they've done. They know what they've done. All of them. Same for you, Humphrey. Same for you. You've got children, Humphrey.
Just saying, it's so unfair and we were robbed and all that. Doesn't help, does it?
How much time do you spend reflecting?
Almost none.
Why is that?
A man who spends no time reflecting. Why is that? Because you don't give a fuck. You never stop to consider, do you? Never feel compassion, never feel guilt. Oh, that's a narcissistic psychopath. Yeah, that's what that is. Oh, but he's a genius. He's just got a little pencil and a notepad, and it's as though he can draw airflow. Yeah, he just sees it and visualizes it. Oh, he's a genius, is Adrian. No.
I suppose because I'm interested in the next thing, really.
You once wrote, you might say I'm lacking sentimentality, but I prefer to think of it as taking a clear-eyed view of the future.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, I've got to look to see what I can exploit next. Yeah, see how I can cheat to make sure I outdo everybody else by breaking the rules. Yeah. Let's look at the cheat devices on that Red Bull car from the cost cap era. Oh, we cheated by overspending. Yeah. Did you ask him about breaching the budget to create this rocket ship of a car in 2022 for that illegal season? Why that plank on the 2022 car was designed to flex in at least two places, and the slider pucks be designed to recess up into that plank so they didn't sustain excessive wear. Oh, that's all illegal, isn't it? Supposedly, FAI won't confirm that. They'll dress that up as a new anti-porpoising directive. And then, the rocket ship, the genius design of 2023 that wins everything. That's just genius. But then, after winning, most of the races at the start of the 2024 season as well, for the first 9 races, they didn't win in Miami because the man with the Midas touch, Trump, he went to the McLaren garage there, and we know that Trump gets things done. Whatever Trump wants, Trump gets. And McLaren won that race with a dodgy safety car deployment. But up until then, and a little bit after, the Red Bull was the dominant car once again, until it wasn't. All of a sudden, Adrian's genius was no longer working. Now, why is that? Was it because they declared, There's rumours of an asymmetric braking device on this car. A driver aid that's illegal, Adrian. The genius. Did you ask him about that, Jake? What about this adjustable bib from a lever inside the cockpit where you can adjust this bib? Oh, that's illegal. Did you ask him about that, Jake? That's a good question, Jeffrey. Didn't do that, did you, Jake? No, we framed this and we set it up for this. Talking about the controversy of Abu Dhabi 2021.
It's easy, okay, so it's great when people come up and say, I've won so many races and championships and whatever. And
oh, yeah, you like the sycophants, don't you? Oh, yes, you're amazing, Adrian. Can I have an autograph, Adrian? Can I have a photograph with you? Oh, that's great, isn't it, Adrian? Yeah, but some of us see you for exactly what you are, Adrian. You're a fucking C-nut.
And I suppose the book, to extent, How to Build a Car, was quite a cathartic trip back, which I'd never
it's very cathartic. Salesman is what you are, salesman. Promote your book.
really done until I wrote that book. I wrote it with the ghostwriter, in truth, Andrew. But generally speaking, I'm not looking back, I'm looking forwards, and I don't know why that is. It's just, I suppose.
Yeah, you don't look back, you look forward. Yeah, look forward to the next exploitation.
It's just the curiosity aspect of, okay, what's next?
More cheating is what it'll be next, Adrian. You've got a track record of that. And that was the end of that wonderful podcast there. I'm sure you all agree that we heard from the F1 stars on the Abu Dhabi 2021 controversy. Oh, Jake Humphrey there addressed all the key points and got all of the necessary answers out of the F1 stars, didn't he? Or no, he didn't. No, that was nothing like that. But he produced a video with that title. It got 281,000 views and 2.9 thousand happy clappers. They like that. This is the brain dead world that we live in. So while some of us are waking up, some of us are seeing things for how they actually operate. There's a good probably 90% of people that are still asleep, still brain dead, still zombies, still entertained. Are you entertained, everybody? Are you having a lovely time? Oh yes, it's poor Toto. Oh, Toto's great, isn't he? Toto's the billionaire that owns Mercedes. Oh, what a guy he is. What a great guy Toto is, because must be a great guy because he's a billionaire. And there's nothing wrong with billionaires. They're just the people that we aspire to be like. Yay for Toto, and yay for Adrian. Yay for Adrian, because Adrian is a genius, because he designs such fast cars and gets so much success for being a genius. What a great podcast, and that's really helped us understand Abu Dhabi 2021. Thanks for that, Jake. Thanks for that. Thanks for keeping the population dumb. The algorithm will suggest your video. The algorithm won't suggest mine. I'll get, I used to get 3,000 or 4,000 views on some videos. Some videos must have slipped through the net. I got more than that. The odd one did go crazy for the first couple of days, and then it just died a death. They realised, don't let anybody see that. Don't let anybody see that. But now the marker's on the channel, Jake, and it just it claims they get 200 or 300 views, and it might not even be that many. And they only show it to just a few accounts. And at least half the accounts they do show it to are the ones of the ones that they know are just here to try and discredit and undermine it. That's the way it works, isn't it, Jake? What do you know, Jake? Let me know. I mean, you're the man that works in the media. You know about the control of minds and the control of the network of information and how it's suppressed. Let us know, Jake. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Now, Jake, I did say you've got children. Would you like it? I mean, imagine, Jake. Imagine. And don't get me wrong, this is not a threat in any way. Let's say you weren't there, Jake, and it was just your children that are in this world. But clearly you love your children and you would want them to have a good life, a good existence. Would you like them to be impacted by the corruption that is taking place in this world? Would you like them to be impacted by the dynamics of the world that we're living in? The media lies. The media mind conditioning everybody in servitude to a corrupt agenda. Billionaires exploiting us, the exploited. Now, if your child, I mean, they're a child of yours, so therefore they're already going to be an advantage. Oh, this is Jake Humphrey's lad or daughter. Oh, we'll give them an opportunity based on who they are. That's called nepotism. So your children are probably going to benefit from that. They'll already be one step up the rung. If they ever want a career in media, already, yeah, we'll give them an interview because that's Jake Humphrey's lad or daughter. And straight away, they are at an advantage. But if that wasn't the case, Jake, if they were just the average boy or girl, like every single one of us, would you want their lives to be impacted in the way that everybody's life is by this level of corruption? I would hope for better. I would strive so that the world was a better place, which didn't impact all of our lives like that. We all mattered. We should have compassion for everybody. We shouldn't stand by and see anybody getting abused. We shouldn't stand by and witness an injustice of anybody without demanding justice and demanding that these perpetrators are held to account for their crimes. But you don't do that, do you, Jake? The system works for you, doesn't it, Jake? You're winning, aren't you, Jake? You're a media personality. And that means you can also go onto social media, mind condition there as well, and cream money as an income out of that as well. You must be doing rather well for yourself, Jake. Comfortable lifestyle, comfortable lifestyle. Be able to get a nice house, nice cars, send your kids to the schools which cost a lot of money, putting them in an environment of elitism, giving them already the better chances in life, which means that their future is they're always starting the game of Monopoly with more than everybody else, with 3 or 4 dice at their disposal that they can choose what it is they want to land on and just buy it so that they can just monopolize and exploit as well. Oh, the game, yeah, you feel that you're at a position and you've got a position within that game that is working for you, Jake. But what if it wasn't? What if it wasn't, Jake? Would you still do what you're doing now? Strange what people do for money, isn't it, Jake? It's all about ethics and morals, isn't it, Jake? And clearly you don't have any, but you do like to virtue signal. I did see the one where you were talking about bullies, Jake. The abuse that you received as a child. And you're getting a lot of likes. Oh, Jake, so empathetic. What a great guy. Now, you see, Jake, your conduct has only added to the abuse that many people have received. By seeking the truth, by presenting the truth. It's caused many people to be on the receiving end of abuse. Media knows that, Jake. That division that has been created by the narrative, that hatred that has been created by the narrative. You're part of that, Jake. You're part of creating and fueling that, Jake. And there'll be a price to pay, Jake. Because when this does happen, everybody that's played their part, there's going to be a consequence for. So, like Toto, who thinks about Abu Dhabi at least once a week, every week. I suggest you do that, Jake, and you think about your role in it. Keep thinking, Jake. Keep thinking.